impasse is mostly around high import duties in India. Now, Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, has said that Tesla won't manufacture anywhere that it cannot sell and service its cars. And import duties in India make Tesla cars too pricey to sell here. Now, the Indian government wants Tesla to manufacture locally, and that is something where conversations have been focused on.
Tesla executives visiting India? Oh yeah. If Tesla's goal is to get to 20 million vehicles per year by 2030, India's got to be a part of that equation. There's been some rough sledding in India. Let's see what the media has to say.
India and Tesla have been flirting for several years now. Tesla even incorporated a company in Bengaluru in the state of Karnataka, but that relationship hasn't progressed anywhere. And the impasse is mostly around high import duties in India. Now, Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, has said that Tesla won't manufacture anywhere that it cannot sell and service its cars. And import duties in India make Tesla cars too pricey to sell here. Now, the Indian government wants Tesla to manufacture locally, and that is something where conversations have been focused on. More than half of the 1.31 million electric vehicles that Tesla manufactured last year and delivered globally were made in China, and India is hoping to move a small portion of that here to India. Now, can this visit move things forward? Like you pointed out, we have the person who broke that story. Bloomberg's Sankalp Fartiyal joins us. Sankalp, this is a significant visit, as Haslinda pointed out. What are we expecting from those talks?
Due to the high import costs of India, vehicles produced in China don't go to India simply because they can't afford to be there. China's right next door to India, so you would think that there would be Chinese-made Teslas imported into India. However, due to the high import costs, that hasn't happened. It's probably better to have a factory up and running sooner rather than later in India, maybe as a contingency plan to make sure that there is still some import-export situations, just in case something goes awry with China. Tesla's already building the factory in Nuevo León. Hopefully that thing will be up and running by early 2024, and we'll have more contingencies with Berlin, Austin, China, and Giga Mexico. Tesla is creating themselves quite the factory footprint.
Hi, Menika. So these executives from Tesla are here this week, and they're hoping to meet government officials, including from the Prime Minister's office. And the idea is to lobby India hard for a reduction in import taxes for their vehicles, as well as do more sourcing from India, because it's important for them to use this as a bargaining chip if they want to get the import duties reduced. Doing this will help them win favor with the government if they source more from India.
Do we know who they're talking to for sourcing components, Sankalp? How important is that as part of their supply chain shift away from China, if at all, because they have been considering other countries?
I think this also points to the rising cloud of India in supply chains, electronic supply chains, and vehicle supply chains. India already has a very thriving automobile sector. It's one of the biggest in the world. And so once these guys are here, once Tesla executives are here, they meet ministers and officials from different ministries. I think the idea is to go as far as they can in India to get local components from here. A factory for building an entire Tesla car is still far away.
Until it isn't. India is one of the biggest automotive markets in the world. You're going to want that market share. Tesla's going to do whatever they got to. India is being a little stubborn with their imports, and painfully clear that they want Tesla to build cars locally. This will be an accompaniment to the symphony that is the Chinese ecosystem. Most of the vehicles produced by Tesla is coming out of that Chinese factory, and it is humming. Giga Shanghai is going to be an integral part of Tesla's future.
And what about selling Tesla cars in India? Now, it's a complex market. EV, or at least passenger vehicles in the EV market, are barely 2% of total car sales in India, if I'm looking at last year's data right. It's a market dominated by two-wheelers and three-wheelers. And with those kinds of import duties, it would be really tough for Tesla to sell here.
Yes, their cars are pricey, but nobody, including Tesla, would want to miss a piece of this market. I mean, their rivals like Mercedes are already launching or vehicles in this market. The auto show earlier this year, almost all the launches in the auto show were electric cars. So this is a very important market where the government is also pushing on green vehicles. So Tesla certainly doesn't want to miss a piece of this action.
2%. That's quite a lot of room for growth. Now, when we're talking about rivals, Mercedes, pick your automaker, and they've gotten these electric car shows, all you're doing is drumming up interest in a market that is ready to gobble up electric vehicles. Luckily, for these other automakers, Tesla is not willing to play ball with these import costs. And as we know, those other electric vehicles, compared to Tesla, they're shit. And I guess if Tesla were to stand still for the next 4 years, they might be able to create a comparable EV. Big emphasis on the might. Tesla proposes local plant in India and strategy shift. The pursuit by Tesla to build a factory in India has restarted, with company representatives holding talks with government officials about car and battery incentives. Sources indicate that Tesla has also discussed plans to manufacture electric vehicle batteries locally, in addition to proposing to build a factory in India to build electric vehicles. Sounds a little counterintuitive to what that reporter said. Far away is far away until it isn't. The report may indicate a shift by Tesla toward local production and away from pushing for lower import taxes on cars after those talks did not lead to an agreement. The Indian government has been steadfast in its demand that Tesla commit to build a local manufacturing hub before it would drop the high tariff rate. I mean, a deal has to be struck for both sides to feel like they've won, right? And producing a factory in India would be a huge win for India. And Tesla gets to continue their pursuit for 20 million vehicles by 2030. This market will absolutely be necessary when you factor in labor costs, not only from China, but also India. If you're able to get them to drop those tariffs for import cars as well, but there's going to have to be a give and take. India is reported to have set aside around $6 billion under two programs to boost electric vehicle sales and manufacturing, with incentives aimed at selling and exporting locally made vehicles and parts. India is the largest automobile market that Tesla does not sell cars in, and could be a key component for its long-range target of selling 20 million electric vehicles a year. 100%. And after Elon Musk's interview with Faber, US-China relations are strained. Having a factory in India and China is no stretch of the imagination by any means. Eventually, it probably would have happened, but now it seems to be accelerated. I think that the need to be inside this market when the next gen vehicles are unveiled and launched, and eventually having a factory in India, could prove quite lucrative. And from Reuters, Tesla met India's deputy tech minister during ongoing visit to explore market entry. Tesla's going to do their due diligence. They're going to try to get the best deal possible. But I want to say there's a bit of an urgency toward Tesla in regard to this, but we'll see. The deal's only going to get done if both sides believe the deal is mutually beneficial. Me personally, a factory in India is inevitable. Like 2% penetration in the EVs, Tesla has a chance to not only capture a huge portion of that pie, but the potential of a second export hub in the Asia Pacific region can't be understated, especially one that is solely dedicated to producing those next gen vehicles. The expansion out of China will create a balance across the globe for Tesla, and it will give them more of a stronghold, as another factory will extend their reach to countries that they have limited or no access to. This is going to be a win. I look forward to the announcement of the breaking ground of a factory in India. Well, that's all I got. Be easy. Hey.